Today's reading is Herobrine from the Sexypedia Wiki. Herobrine originated from a community-made creepypasta based on the game Minecraft, and exploded into an internet urban legend from there, even becoming a running joke in Minecraft itself, as multiple update changelogs have included removed Herobrine. His class is Tiamat, and his source is Minecraft. Basic information. Herobrine originated from a captioned image post on 4chan's V-board, where an anonymous user told a story about how strange things had happened in a new single-player Minecraft world they had recently created, including finding player-built structures and seeing another quote-unquote player with the default skin, but with the eyes blank white. The user went on to detail that they had gone to the forums about it and eventually found out that Herobrine was the name of Notch's, the main developer of Minecraft at the time, brother, and that upon emailing Notch about it, he said that Herobrine was no longer with us. Obviously the story was fake, and Notch never had a brother, deceased or not. The urban legend only really gained traction when the streamer Copeland photoshopped Herobrine into several screenshots to show his chat. And when he got a positive response, he staged an encounter on stream with a retextured painting made to look like Herobrine. From there, people took the idea and ran with it. Archetypes. Duality. With Steve, as Herobrine is just Steve's model with the pupils removed from the eye texture. It is also extremely frequently shown in fanfic to have duality with Notch and or Jeb, and a god/Satan sort of relationship. Dominating. Intimidates the player through silent stalking and leaving cryptic structures. Eye imagery. His most noteworthy identifying feature are his solid white glowing eyes. Glowing neon. His glowing white eyes. Many fanon depictions also associate with him with the glowing purple particles from the end dimension. Mysterious. There's no set canon on what his origins or intentions are. Urban legend aesthetic. Literally is an actual internet urban legend. Fanon tropes. Fourth wall blurring. Of the version typical to early sentient game glitch creepypastas, though a much more subtle variant of it. Some versions of the creepypasta have Herobrine be a ghost hosted within the game's code, especially of Notch's dead fictional brother. The fourth wall was blurred further when Mojang themselves got in on the joke and started adding removed Herobrine to update changelogs, as well as a few instances of him appearing on things like site banners. Eldritch/glitching. Nearly every interpretation of Herobrine is blatantly some type of Eldritch sentient game glitch/virus entity, with how hard it leans to either the Eldritch Satan figure being side or sentient computer virus side, depending on whether the fic in question depicts the world of Minecraft itself as being a realistic fantasy setting, or still a video game within the story. Either way, it's practically his core character trait. A popular mod to play on YouTube back in the day would allow the user to build another shrine to summon Herobrine into their world, where he would cause havoc. Fanon splintering. Everyone has their own take on Herobrine, and it was not uncommon for Herobrine fans to write their own versions interacting. There's still some defunct Herobrine OC blogs out there if you look. A particularly popular one way back was the now long abandoned Ask Enderbro, an Ask blog about a friendly Enderman living with an often annoying Steve, which also featured the creator's version of Herobrine as a vengeful nether dragon forced into the form of Steve, as an effect of him being the player character and obsessed with destroying him to escape it. Herobrine uses the original smiling bearded Steve skin from before it was updated, and in the original popular Minecraft days, his being an identical copy of Steve with only glowing eyes was an aspect left largely unchanged. It was only with the Minecraft resurgence that occurred around 2019 that more creative liberties with personal interpretations became the norm, typically manifesting as Herobrine being shown as paler, thinner, more gremlin-like, and often with sharp teeth and slightly different hair. This is also around the time the more benign interpretation of Herobrine as something like Steve's quiet cryptid brother was popularized. Before the resurging Minecraft fandom was entirely consumed by the Dream fandom, there was a brief period where it was very common for people to make each other crossover art gifts of their Herobrines interacting. Many Undertale AU name-style alternate Herobrines also existed in both time periods, such as Enderbrine, which was a popular skin, back in the old days when everyone had one of the same 3 scene kids with headphones as their skin. Knife murder. Herobrine is typically characterized as being single-mindedly hostile towards the character. Monster features. Along with the glowing eyes, many fan artists extend his inhuman nature to include more obviously monstrous features in the vein of sharp teeth and claws. Technically antagonists. A large majority of interpretations of Herobrine are at the very least antagonistic and unfriendly, if not outright evil. Unkempt. After the Minecraft Renaissance, many people began portraying Herobrine as unkempt, having messier hair/facial hair in comparison to Steve, as well as often wearing tattered or burnt clothes. Fanon. A Fanon section is a bit redundant for a character that's pure Fanon to begin with, but there's not currently anywhere else to fit some miscellaneous details on this page. While original Minecraft Herobrine was generally thought of as almost exclusively a malicious entity, with the exception of a subgenre of redemption arc fics, with any fics taking his perspective serving only to provide an explanation for him being that way, a Resurgence era Herobrine is almost exclusively shown as either being a purely misunderstood harmless creature that befriends and often eventually is shipped with Steve's mysterious brother, or just some gremlin who shows up sometimes and digs in your trash. These days, the originally near universal accepted origin of him being either the brother or creation of Notch in the Minecraft version of Satan has been more or less completely dropped by everyone in favor of simpler, less creepypasta origins. In the era between the original Minecraft fandom of 2011 and 2015 and the Resurgence era of 2019 and onward, during the quote-unquote cringe period, a questionable renaissance of its own was taking place in the bowels of YouTube. During that period, YouTube was dealing with an infamous algorithm exploiting content farm epidemic often called Elsagate, in which suspicious channels would appear making dozens of videos a day presenting themselves as kids' content, which would contain characters like Elsa, Spider-Man, Mickey Mouse, etc., in bizarre, often disturbing and weirdly pregnancy-obsessed situations. These videos were clearly meant to trick neglectful parents into hitting autoplay and leaving their kid to rack up ad revenue, and YouTube was infamously loath to do anything about this lucrative source of profit overrunning their algorithm. Another thing that was taking place around this time had to do with the oversaturation of Minecraft skit channels on the platform. During the prime of Minecraft on YouTube, there was an incredible boom of content, the likes of which was never seen before and has not occurred since of Minecraft-related videos. For a solid several years, YouTube was almost entirely just that place people went to watch the Minecraft YouTubers and the Minecraft pop song parodies. This level of saturation is unbelievable for those who no longer remember witnessing it. Every successful channel was playing Minecraft. No channels did well except Minecraft-related YouTubers. Minecraft mod showcasers were like rock stars and animators, much less even slightly good ones, were cherished and comprehensively talented gods. For a while, old famous Minetubers whose names are now forgotten ruled the platform like celebrity stars, and YouTube was all but synonymous with Minecraft. Obviously, the sheer magnitude of constant content production was not sustainable. Towards the tail end of this saturation sub-era, when almost every obvious video had already been made and every kind of modded LP touched on, something began to happen. People began to run out of ideas. Towards the tail end of this saturation, when Minecraft was still algorithmically profitable to an unreal degree, but collective viewer fatigue was setting in and everything everyone of that time knew how to make had already been made 10 times over by everyone who knew how to make it, another movement of lower effort small-scale skit content took place, spearheaded by channels such as Exploding TNT. This movement resulted in a massive spike of portrayals of Herobrine, this time generally as a somewhat whiny and threatening but mostly ineffectual and pathetic but of slapstick jokes, in the newly popularized What If Herobrine's Mother Ate an Apple genre videos. The trend started off with alright enough content and sensibly expandable enough, even if not exactly creative concepts, such as What If Herobrine Got Griefed. These typically would consist of an infamous old YouTube dubstep channel intro animation, a screen recording of someone in a Herobrine or not, or one of the scene kid with headphone skins that was popular. Later on, the series would add characters such as Herobrine's mother, who was consistently shown to be abusive and violent but was treated as slapstick humor, running around and acting out a scene in what was usually either an empty field or a medieval town map, almost always involving lots of abuse of the crouch button to indicate teabagging or other sexual jokes, and lots of fart sound effects, especially anywhere Herobrine was involved, with colored text and stock royalty-free music added over the clip to indicate the plot. These videos quickly ran out of ideas that made any sense, as well as any semblance of effort and production value, and became a bizarrely bland deluge of incomprehensible nonsense with titles like Noob vs. Griefer vs. Herobrine vs. God vs. Freddy Fazbear and What If Herobrine Took a Shower, with many of these channels pushing out multiple of these increasingly inane and specific additions to the Herobrine's Mother cinematic universe per day, somehow stretched out by more and more irritating methods into a full video. The exact premise and stupidity of these videos varied, but one constant is that they would always include Herobrine. By 2016, when the Finger Family Elsagate trend began to rise, the Minecraft What If skit trend, a trend already spawned by people running out of ideas and desperately trying to hold onto prime algorithm bait, was a zombified shadow of its former self, somehow clinging to a life it no longer had. In 2016, coincided these two ideas. The dead, drained husk of a beaten horse of fandom content for a children's game still persisting somehow in existence, despite its fans having long run dry, mindlessly trying to suck viewership from an algorithm doesn't favor it anymore, and an infestation of allegedly child-targeted content fever dreams that was never anything other than a cheap soulless algorithm grab to begin with. What could these coinciding patterns of thought do when they meet? Simple. They fused. An unholy union which spawned a new breed of both Elsagate and Herobrine video which still persists strong in the underbelly of YouTube to this day. The algorithm-bait result of this combination produced content with similar energy to all of those insert popular kids character here foot injury first aid flash games, which defies adequate description, but viewing it generally produces the feeling that the watcher is going insane. They feature ear-splitting screaming, flailing, utterly nonsensical scripts that seem to be the result of unleashing an algorithm trained exclusively on annoying orange videos, and as much weird Elsa pregnancy type crap as the Finger Family videos ever did upon a copy of Source Movie Maker stocked only with custom models of Minecraft, chaotic overly sexual thumbnails, and titles that have nothing to do with the video, among other things that all add up to a package that's difficult to put any words to that aren't disturbing and perhaps deranged. And no matter what the video is about, Herobrine is always there, and is always disturbing, and not in the fun way. He's usually screaming in the most obnoxiously high-pitched voice possible, or doing something disturbingly weird, or both. A particular series within this genre of note are the subgenre of monster school videos. The origin of the monster school clickbait content farms began further back with a short series of small animation skits that the original view of were generally good content, and were considered especially well animated for the standards of the time. It took a few years for the Monster School series to gain enough popularity that it started leaking out of the original creator's hands to mutate into the widespread unintentional surrealist horror piece abomination clickbait that they are today. Monster School, as it was originally conceived before the Finger Family side of YouTube got their hands on it, and drowned all the original out, was a fairly simple premise of a few animated shorts showing Herobrine as the school teacher, implied to be the king of monsters. Original Airy Herobrine was also near universally conceived by the community as being the king and often creator of all hostile mobs, particularly the original overworld ones like zombies and creepers, especially in interpretations where he was analogous to Minecraft Satan, instructing one of each major mob in the game on different aspects of survival in Minecraft in school. With no dialogue, each episode would often have Herobrine magically transport his students to some kind of magical simulation to test their skill, which he could teleport them out of if they encountered genuine danger. Usually it would go by with each student taking the test and a few failing in amusing ways while Herobrine shakes his head in disappointment. And at the end of each episode, Herobrine would put each student's grade up on the wall. It was a very innocent premise that continued this way for the whole of the original series, and it's hard to believe what its imitators have made out of it now. But all the videos with titles like Monster School Pregnancy Potion and thumbnails with Minecraft characters doing things I won't say. All of this is to say, do not ever click on anything titled Fat Herobrine. Considering the sheer breathtaking explosive scale of the original Minecraft fandom, there's an argument to be made that Herobrine is not a Tiamat Tumblr sexy man, but an Apollyon YouTube sexy man, and his fandom was not kind to him.